In a city where stray numbers continue to rise, responsible pet ownership is no longer a choice, it is a necessity. Good day, everyone. Today, we present Pause Before You Commit, a social marketing campaign dedicated to promoting responsible pet ownership and addressing the growing issues of neglect, abandonment, and stray animals in Davao City. Over the years, the Philippines has recorded an alarming number of stray animals, commonly due to pet abandonment, irresponsible pet ownership, impulsive adoption, and the lack of implementation of animal welfare regulations. Consequently, the rise of stray animals around the country poses not only a threat to public health and safety, but also raises ethical and environmental concerns. This pressing issue of irresponsible pet ownership sparks debate by reflecting on deeper societal issues, particularly those related to responsible pet ownership and the need for enhanced urban management systems in the country. So in a 2023 press release, Senator Mark Villaruz stated that according to the Philippine Animal Welfare Society or Paws, that there are over 12 million stray cats and dogs all over the Philippines. Most of these animals are abandoned by households or those who have reproduced in the streets due to a lack of shelter. One case also stated that the local government unit of the National Capital Region captures an average of 200 stray animals per week. However, in that same Senate press release in 2023, they stated that their resources are not enough to sustain the care and maintenance of these animals. Following a local context, there are no official reports on the exact statistics on the number of stray animals. However, in 2014, the city government of Davao reported that approximately 40 to 50 stray dogs were captured from the streets per day, and only 20 to 30% of those were retrieved by their owners, and this is according to Pinili in 2014. In a recent report from January to December of 2024, the City Veterinary Office or the CVO has impounded 6,143 stray cats and dogs, and only 500 of those were reclaimed by their owners. For instances where these animals were not claimed by their owners within 3 days, the City Veterinary Office or the CVO had to euthanize them due to a lack of space in the pound. First is the Animal Welfare Act of 1998 or the RA 8485 as amended by RA 10631. Now this law mandates the humane treatment of animals and penalizes any act of cruelty of abandonment. Meanwhile, the Anti-Rabies Act of 2007 or the RA 9482 focuses on preventing rabies through compulsory vaccination of pets and pet registration, population control, and the establishment of local rabies prevention and control programs, including dog pounds and mass vaccination drives. So in Davao City, the local efforts support these national laws by prioritizing funding for free anti-rabies vaccinations, as well as offering castration services, neutering services, and impounding services. These initiatives also aim to manage the stray animal population and reduce rabies cases in the city. Pause Before You Commit addresses the ongoing issue of stray animals in the Philippines, especially in Davao City, where pet abandonment and irresponsible pet ownership remains widespread. By empowering people through education, awareness, and empathy, the campaign aspires to build a generation that embraces accountability, passion, and shared responsibility for the welfare of all animals. First, the campaign highlights both the ethical and legal responsibilities of pet ownership, addressing the common issues of people acquiring pets without understanding the long-term commitment. Now, this often leads to neglect, abandonment, and also the increase in stray animals population in the city. Now, Pause Before You Commit seeks to educate the public on responsible care such as vaccination, neutering, castration services, and adherence to the Animal Welfare Act and Anti-Rabies Act to promote informed and committed pet ownership. Emphasizing the importance of community participation, the campaign focuses to collaborate with local agencies within Davao City such as the City Veterinary Office, Bantay Hayop Davao, and Happy Animals Club, organizing public activities involving free vaccination drives, pet registration booths, and responsible pet ownership workshops and seminars. Now, the campaign will also advocate for collaboration between local government units and private or volunteering organizations to strengthen the support systems for animal rescuers, adoption, as well as welfare education. The campaign will also engage policymakers, veterinarians, animal rights advocates, and pet owners to bridge the gap between legislation and public awareness, addressing current issues in local responses to the issue of stray animals. Lastly, Pause Before You Commit aims to create sustained behavioral changes among pet owners, local government officials, policymakers, as well as its citizens. Beyond spreading information, the campaign also seeks to transform how people treat animals. By cultivating empathy, accountability, and social responsibility among citizens, Pause Before You Commit visualizes a safe community for strays where pet ownership is guided by long-term care, awareness, and respect for animals, encouraging compassion over convenience.
Our campaign Pause Before You Commit focuses on promoting responsible pet ownership in Davao City to reduce pet abandonment and stray overpopulation. For our strengths, we have a clear emotional message supported by real data and strong collaboration potential with government units and animal welfare NGOs. Our weaknesses include limited funding and manpower, which may affect the consistency of campaign activities. Opportunities come from growing public concern for animal welfare and the rise of digital media platforms so we can easily spread awareness. However, threats such as weak law enforcement, cultural beliefs that normalize abandonment, and overcrowded animal shelters may affect long-term impact.
Now let's move on to our target audience, the heart of Pause Before You Commit. Our campaign primarily focuses on two key segments: pet owners and the general public, especially in Davao City. First, we have current pet owners. These include individuals and families aged 18 to 50 who already have pets at home. Many of them genuinely love their pets, but often lack further awareness about responsible pet ownership. For this group, our key message is: owning a pet is a lifelong responsibility, not just a trend. Next, our second group are prospective or first-time pet owners, especially students, young adults, and couples who are thinking about adopting or buying a pet. This audience is important because many people adopt impulsively. They see a cute puppy or kitten and take it home without realizing the long-term commitment involved. For them, our message is: think before you adopt. Pets are family, not disposable. And lastly, we also consider the general public and local communities as part of our audience. They might not own pets, but they are directly affected by stray animals through road accidents, noise, or even health risks like rabies. By educating the public, we aim to promote collective responsibility, reminding everyone that responsible ownership equals safer and healthier communities. In summary, these audiences were evaluated because they have the greatest influence on stray animal numbers, both as causes and part of the solution. By educating and empowering them, we can create a more compassionate and accountable pet-owning culture in Davao City.
Our campaign's objectives and goals focus on changing both knowledge and behavior. We want Davao City pet owners to become more responsible by vaccinating, registering, and properly caring for their pets, while also discouraging abandonment. Through education on laws and pet welfare, we aim to foster empathy and accountability. Our measurable goals include increasing vaccination rates by 20%, improving awareness by 30%, and reducing stray intakes by 15% within a year. Ultimately, we want lasting partnerships with local animal groups to keep the campaign going even after our main activities end.
We are mainly targeting pet owners and the general public. Pet owners are the key audience because irresponsible ownership like neglect and abandonment directly causes the problem. The general public is also affected by stray-related issues like rabies and safety risks. Common barriers include financial struggles, lack of awareness about pet care laws, cultural attitudes to see pets as property, and time constraints for proper care. However, the benefits are strong motivators. Responsible ownership leads to safer and cleaner communities, healthier pets, emotional satisfaction, and civic pride among owners. Our main competition is the behavior of irresponsible ownership, such as failing to vaccinate pets, abandoning them, or thinking strays are only the government's problem. We address this by showing that caring for pets is both a moral and legal duty. Our influential partners include LGUs and the City Veterinary Office, which enforce animal welfare laws, as well as NGOs like Paws, Bantay Hayop Davao, and Happy Animals Club. We'll also work with veterinaries and social media influencers who can encourage responsible behavior through credible and emotional messaging. For our positioning statement for Davao City pet owners and potential adopters who want to keep their pets healthy, safe, and loved, Pause Before You Commit is a compassionate movement that inspires responsible ownership, ensuring pets are treated as lifelong family members, not disposable property. So this statement shows our goal of promoting compassion and responsibility. It reminds people to think before they adopt and to see pets as lifelong companions, not temporary commitments. So our message is simple: responsible ownership means love, care, and commitment for life.
Now, let's move on to the product component of our campaign. What we actually offer to make responsible pet ownership easier and more rewarding. In social marketing, the core product is the main benefit that people will get when they change their behavior. For Pause Before You Commit, the core benefit is a healthier, safer, and more humane community where pets are loved, vaccinated, and cared for responsibly. The actual product, on the other hand, refers to the tangible elements of the campaign. These include free vaccination and castration services in partnership with the CVO or City Veterinary Office, pet registration drives to ensure proper documentation, responsible pet ownership, workshops in schools and barangays, and adoption programs with organizations like Bantay Hayop Davao and Happy Animals Club. Adding on to that, to make our campaign more engaging, we also develop new products such as educational content on social media, for example, a day in the life of a responsible pet owner, starter kits with booklets and vet contacts for new owners, and even campaign merchandise like shirts, journals, and planners for pet care tracking. Finally, we also have special endorsements and partnerships to strengthen credibility. Collaborating with the City Veterinary Office, animal welfare NGOs, and local influencers give our campaign both legitimacy and reach. These products, both tangible and emotional, support our goal of transforming how people view and treat animals.
So for monetary incentives, we have free vaccination and castration services. This campaign promotes free vaccination, spaying, and neutering in partnership with the City Veterinary Office. These services remove financial barriers and help reduce the stray population while encouraging responsible pet care. Second is the free pet registration drives. To support legal compliance without burdening pet owners, the campaign will offer free registration drives. This helps ensure proper documentation, accountability, and improved disease monitoring in the community. Third is contest prizes. Through partnerships with local pet stores, the campaign will offer rewards such as pet supplies, treats, accessories, and even cash. So for monetary disincentives, we have fees for reclaiming impounded pets. These additional fees for reclaiming impounded pets or animals will discourage owners from letting pets roam freely around the streets and help keep pets safe within home premises. Second, there are fines under the Animal Welfare Act. So, individuals who neglect, abandon, or abuse pets may face fines from 30,000 pesos to 250,000 pesos and imprisonment. Repeat offenders face harsher penalties, highlighting the seriousness of responsible pet ownership. Lastly, there are also fines under the Anti-Rabies Act. So pet owners who fail to vaccinate their pets or allow them to roam unsupervised may be fined from 2,000 pesos to 10,000 pesos. These penalties encourage compliance with safety measures that protect both animals and the community. So for non-monetary incentives, we have companionship and emotional fulfillment. So the campaign emphasizes the emotional rewards of pet ownership, reminding owners that pets provide joy, comfort, and lasting companionship. Second is community recognition. Through storytelling, volunteer features, and social media shoutouts, responsible pet owners will be celebrated. Third, enhance community safety and cleanliness. Promoting responsible ownership will reduce stray-related incidents and health risks, contributing to a safer, cleaner, and rabies-free environment. Lastly, we have non-monetary disincentives. First is emotional distress. Neglecting or abandoning pets may lead to guilt and emotional strain, so the campaign will highlight these consequences to encourage empathy-driven responsibility. Second is social disapproval. Responsible pet owners may face judgment or loss of respect within their community, so the campaign will use the social dynamic to encourage neglectful behavior. And lastly, we have legal accountability. By reinforcing the laws under the Animal Welfare Act and Anti-Rabies Act, pet owners become more aware of their responsibilities, so educational efforts will instill a sense of moral and legal obligations toward proper pet care.
Our play strategy focuses on where our audience can directly experience the campaign. Online, we will use social media to continuously engage and educate pet owners. Offline, We will bring our advocacy to barangays, schools, vet clinics, and public event places, where people naturally interact with pets. With partners like the City Vet Office and local shelters, our activities will be accessible and community centered. This ensures our message doesn't just stay online, but also actually reaches pet owners where it matters most, which is in their neighborhoods. For our promotion strategy, we'll spread our message through both digital and community-based platforms. Our slogan, Pause Before You Commit, will appear in emotional storytelling posts, infographics, and short videos across Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We'll also collaborate with the City Veterinary Office and local shelters to host adoption drives and educational events. By mixing online engagement with on-ground activities, we ensure the campaign reaches both the digital audience and real communities. Our ultimate goal here is to inspire responsible pet ownership through empathy and awareness.
To make sure the campaign is effective, Pause Before You Commit will use a three-phase monitoring and evaluation plan. First is the process evaluation, where we will monitor campaign activities such as the number of posters and materials distributed, social media reach and engagement, event attendance, and partnerships with LGUs, schools, and NGOs. This helps us see if our activities are being implemented as planned. Next is the outcome evaluation, which measures changes in awareness and behavior. We will check if there's an increase in pet vaccination rates, better knowledge about animal welfare laws, and a reduction in stray and abandonment cases. Surveys, interviews, and reports from the from the City Veterinary Office will serve as our main data sources. Finally, the impact evaluation looks at the long-term results, whether there's sustained community involvement, continued partnerships with animal welfare groups, fewer euthanasia cases, and more responsible pet owners over time. So by following these steps, we ensure that our campaign doesn't just create awareness but also leads to real, measurable, and lasting change in Davao City.
Pause Before You Commit is a campaign that aims to draw funding from both public and private sectors. Funding sources may include the City Veterinary Office, the City Health Office, and also local government units. The program will also seek partnerships and fundings from Sangguniang Kabataan programs, including community drives and educational outreach initiatives. So as for private partnerships, these will include sources for free vaccination and castration services, free pet registration drives, and creativity contests, which involve free kibbles, accessories, and cash prizes. So the campaign will also aim to collaborate and partner with local supply brands or pet stores, veterinary clinics, and animal welfare NGOs. Overall, the campaign will run for an estimated budget of 100,000 pesos.
Now for our implementation plan for Pause Before You Commit. It follows 5 simple phases. First, we prepare by securing partnerships with the City Veterinary Office, shelters, barangays, and schools, and by creating our campaign materials and online portal. Next, we launch the campaign through a public event and social media rollout to build awareness. We then move into community engagement through workshops, pop-up hubs, and support for vaccination, castration, and registration for drives. We also conduct advocacy activities such as creative contests, shelter collaborations to encourage empathy and responsible ownership. Monitoring and evaluation is our final step, using both existing city data and campaign-generated data to measure changes in knowledge, behavior, vaccination rates, and pet abandonment. That is how we will be implementing Pause Before You Commit. In conclusion, Pause Before You Commit aims to address irresponsible pet ownership by combining education, partnerships, and community involvement to promote long-term responsible behavior. The campaign's implementation plan provides a clear and practical structure to guide activities, measure outcomes, and ensure that the advocacy remains sustainable. Through collective effort, the campaign hopes to reduce pet abandonment, improve public awareness, and create a safer and more compassionate environment for both animals and the community. Thank you.